Chapter 161, Modern Weapon of Dwarves. The dwarf shook his head. No, but I know something similar. We possess something called black powder, which is explosive in nature. I think upon clicking that part, this powder gets exploded, launching the upper part at high speed. This works on the same principle as a weapon we recently developed, although that weapon is larger and has more power. What is it? Nai Raogang was excited, feeling that his trip to this city isn't in vain. Previously, he had suspicions that it might be the work of a human, but after hearing the explanation from the dwarf, he felt like the manufacturers of the weapons sold at Genesis is the secret work of a dwarf, probably from other cities. As Nai Raogang asked about this new weapon of the dwarves, the Duke of Bernlajur had a look of hesitation. He doesn't seem like he wanted to reveal the secret. Nai Raogang is a politician with good observation skills. It was clear to him what is going on in this dwarf's mind. He looked at his brother. Bring out everything. Nai Hong nodded. Very soon, a single-shot pistol, revolver P365, P226, and derringer were placed before the Duke. Lord Rundrock, these are all the firearms. Aren't you interested in replicating them? These ungraded weapons sell as high as 50 gold coins in the Imperial City. In an instant, the dwarf's brain activated about the business, and he fell into thoughts. After a brief silence, he stood up on his feet. Follow me. They walked to an armory weapon storage room, full of various weapons, ranging from daggers to metal and wooden puppets. However, out of all of them, one thing attracted the visitors the most. This is the new weapon you talked about earlier, Nai Raogang asked unsurely as he stared at a big hollow rod with a thread sticking out from the rear end. Clearly, he was a little bit unimpressed by its crude design. Don't take this lightly, Lord Nai. The Duke of Bernlajur caught Nai Raogang's expression, but he didn't feel offended at all. Instead, he decided to clear the doubts of these two privileged guests. He explained as he showed a cast iron ball of about 20 kg in weight and has the size of a human's head. Each one of this can destroy the walls of the fortress with ease. Once it was launched by the cannon, this sphere can even kill a four-circle realm when successfully hit head-on. Apart from these, we have developed exploding ones as well. They will not only hit the targets, but after a period of time, they will even explode, causing more damage to the enemies. In those, we use black powder, which will ignite upon launching the cannonballs. Four-circle, huh? Now that changes everything. Nai Raogang nodded in approval. There's a glint in his eyes, as the helicopter and the battle tank were considered puppets by him as well as everyone. Nai Raogang didn't think about them. All he could think is how its firepower is more powerful than Mark's lightweight weapons. Maybe it's because he was too excited to have dozens of these installed at his mansion in case of another misadventure by Mark. Or maybe it is because this dwarf is highly reputed. For whatever reason, Nai Raogang didn't bother to ask for a demonstration and directly went for the purchase. He asked, "How much is it? I want at least 30 of these." However, the Duke of Bernlajur shook his head. "We don't have permission to mass-produce them yet. It's our king's orders." Nai Raogang furrowed his brows. Why? I'll be honest with you, these make humans too powerful and uncontrolled. There would be chaos if the owner of these cannons uses them to launch an invasion. The Duke of Bernlajur was becoming exasperating while he explained the situation. One wouldn't need any ether to fire them, you know. Once you figure out how to make them and it will become public knowledge, it won't be a pretty sight. His Majesty doesn't want to be blamed by the human rulers for the mess. It was clear that even this dwarf doesn't agree with his king's orders. After all, what has the well-being of humans had anything to do with him? They were blacksmiths, and he feels that it's their right to innovate new types of weapons. As Nai Raogang fell into thoughts, trying to figure out a way to convince the dwarf, his brother, Nai Hong, opened his mouth. Lord Rundrock, the king doesn't have to know about this deal. Perhaps we can come to an arrangement. What do you mean, Lord Nai? The Duke of Bernlajur frowned. Despite being intelligent and possessing greed for gold, the dwarves were honest beings. They don't lie, were loyal to their king, don't cheat their clients, and most importantly, they were quite straightforward. Well, at least most of them. Exceptions always exist everywhere. Thankfully for this revenue minister of the Phoenix Empire, the Duke of Bernlajor isn't a saint. He loves gold more than any other dwarf or dragon. At the same time, he is also a bit cunning when compared to the rest of the dwarves. Niraugang came out of his thoughts and said, "I'll provide you the raw materials and I'll pay 500 gold coins for every cannon and 20 gold coins per exploding cannonball you provide me. This transaction won't be in the records of your kingdom or our empire. Are you willing to accept this deal? 500 per cannon, and you will even provide iron." The Duke of Bernlajor was taken aback by this shocking offer. In an instant, he realized that there was nothing for him to lose and everything is to gain. But his greediness came in the way. Seeing the desperation on his client, he replied, "It's very hard to complete this task. I can't do this alone. There's a need for manpower, and I had to shut their mouths with extra pay to make sure this never leaves Bernlajor. 1,000 gold coins per cannon, 10 gold coins per iron sphere, 25 gold coins per exploding cannonball. In return, you will get the first batch of 10 cannons and 100 cannonballs of both variants within a week." Deal. Niraugang agreed to it right away. He's the revenue minister and is super rich. Just mere thousands of gold coins aren't much for him. So, despite knowing that the dwarf is trying to take advantage of him, he accepted the deal without any negotiations. Chapter 162. Back to the Imperial City. After 33 hours of non-stop traveling by the land, Mark finally returned to the store. It was already midnight by the time he arrived through Howitzer. So, except for patrolling guards, no one had discovered his return. Moreover, he was traveling in a howitzer, which looks a lot like his previous battle tank. So, in just a glance, the passerby soldiers knew that it was him and didn't dare to stop his route. The howitzer stopped at the entrance of the store. Mark was in the midst of sleeping on the bunker bed in the rear chamber. As Elena, a part of the system, she was able to open the locked rear chamber from outside. She stepped inside and proceeded to wake up her master. "Big brother, we are here." As soon as Mark felt a touch, he immediately opened his eyes and saw Elena. As he stepped down from the vehicle, he patted it twice with a smile on his face. "It's really a good thing that our vehicles can run on vegetable oils without facing any issues. Or else, it would have become tough to sell these in the future. But then again, the consumption is too high. So far, 5,700 liters out of 6,500 liters of oil were spent away. That means it cost me nearly 300 gold coins just to travel 500-odd kilometers. I need to ask around to see if crude oil is available anywhere. But before that, I need to buy a few barrels of vegetable oil for reserves." He dismissed the howitzer and went to the shutter. At first, he wanted to knock, but thinking that Alan might have been at the first floor's mansion, he sent an indirect message to Alan through the system. Within just a few seconds, the shutter was opened. Alan proceeded to greet with a smile on his face. "Vitage dema, velki bratter, welcome home, big brother." "What the?" Mark was taken aback by Alan's action, for the latter never had greeted him like that. "Alan, why happened to your language? Why you are suddenly talking in Czech?" Mark was born in Austria to a Czech mother and American father. From childhood, he could speak Czech, Austrian, German, and English very fluently. But here, in this world of magic, most of the people in the 3 major empires, save for a few independent kingdoms and no man's land, speak the language of Orlan and has a different writing system and alphabets. Thankfully, due to absorbing Lu Zhen's memories and possessing his body, he could speak and write fluently. Until now, he never had to speak his past language because there's no use. And since the system gave him the androids that can speak this world's language, he didn't care much about it. However, all of a sudden, as the android suddenly talked in his mother tongue, not only Mark was surprised, but it also reminded him of his past life just for a moment. When inquired with Alan, the latter said in Orlan with a trace of surprise on his face, "Sister Zhu said that you might like to talk in native language more." "Sister Zhu?" Mark was once again surprised, widening his eyes. "You mean Lin Zhu?" Alan nodded in response. Since when were the two of you are on such close terms? He was bewildered by the fact that the lady of the Lin clan got closer to Alan despite he showed her Alan's loyalty towards him and even gave a warning to not cross the line between an employee and a client. Just what in the hell happened during the time I was away? Alan answered with an innocent look. I don't know. Sister Zhu just asked me to address her that way about 3 days ago. Mark wanted to think that Lin clan might have been trying to scheme something, but when he realized that he only profited from them until now, he dismissed those thoughts away. With Alan bound to his soul and will forever have 100% loyalty, he didn't care about it and just walked inside the store. As soon as he returned to the mansion, the first thing he did is to run into the bathroom and have a nice long shower with hot water. All the spirit warriors can just expel the filth from their bodies through ether energy. It was the same case for the mouth, but maintaining cleanliness and having a shower are entirely two different things. After making a long journey, a hot shower followed by a peaceful sleep on a comfy bed is considered bliss for Mark, and he enjoyed it. The next day morning, Mark woke up at 9. By the time, Alan had already left the store and he had a floating notification screen stating about the daily purchases made by Lin Zhu. After a quick breakfast, he went downstairs and sat in his chair. He didn't open the store yet, as he had something to take care of. Open Familiar's inventory. About 14 images of the beasts were seen in the inventory. 10 of them are summoning beasts. The other 4 are tamed ones, which costs him to store in the inventory when they are perfectly healthy. The system charges him 5 gold coins per day. Fierce beasts like Grey Wolf and the Dark Turtle. For the beast King Baltro, he's paying 80 gold coins per day. And thankfully, to Shannon, the Emperor Grade Cat is only rank 1. So he was only being charged 100 gold coins per day. Until now, he hid the 2 of them, but now that he's back into the store, Mark no longer wanted to unnecessarily pay huge amounts of money to the system. He first summoned the legendary realm Beast King. Roar! As soon as the manticore was summoned, it looked around curiously. As it was bound to Mark's soul, there was no suppression on it, but it could still sense the power of the system. This power, it's as if I'm sensing the power of a true god. Strange. Baltro let out a strange comment in a human speech before it paid attention to its owner, who was staring at its details with excitement. Baltro bound. Grade King. Title Savage deactivated. Rank 8 Advanced State. Species Hybrid. Type Balanced. Attribute Fire Dark Poison. Loyalty 26%. Description: the manticore from the realm of Undying Lands. It has an IQ of over 120. Title Savage. When activated the title, Baltro will act on its own and turn deaf to the host's orders. Except for the host and other soul-bound entities, the beast cannot judge who is ally or enemy. Skills. Active. Concussive blows. Baltro attacks the enemy with its paws, giving 5 successive blows in just 1 second. Each blow contains 100% of its attack power. Cost: 20 million EP ether points. CD: 15 minutes. Poison Breath. Baltro can breathe out poisonous gas and slowly kills everyone who breathes in the gas, excluding host and soul-bound entities. Effect: depends on the strength and resistance of the target. Range: 500 meters. Cost: 20 million EP. CD: 60 minutes. Dragon Blaze. Baltro breathes out an ocean of flames, turning everyone into ash. Effect: 120% attack power. Range: 500 meters. Cost: 40 million EP. CD: 60 minutes. Spiky Throw. Baltro shoot the spikes from its back and pierce the target's min. 1 max 24. Effect: each spike contains 80% of attack power. Range: 100 meters. Cost: 30 million EP. CD: 10 minutes spike. Extreme Bite. Baltro will bite the target with its fangs of a saber-tooth while seeing poison into the enemy. Effect 1, 120% attack power. Effect 2, targets will be paralyzed by poison. This effect will be changed based on the target's resistance. Cost: 30 million EP. CD: 60 minutes. Dark Flash. Baltro unleashes a concentrated beam of dark energy through its mouth. Effect: 130% attack power. Cost: 40 million EP. CD: 90 minutes. Passive. Savage Aura. When it is summoned, the host's vitality and agility increase by 30%, and during the savage state, attack power int and STR is also increases by 12% as long as the host stays within 200 meters radius. Merge. Baltro can add the other attributes to increase the damage of its skill attack. The cost of the skills will also increase. As Mark sighed inwardly upon seeing the high cost of activating the skills, the beast opened its mouth. Human, when you used the spirit beast contract, you promised me that I will become free from that prison. But I didn't expect you will just transfer me from one prison to another. You held me several days in that dark prison there and forced me to sleep, but I will forget the matter because you healed my injuries too. Well, this one behaves more civilized. Mark couldn't help but remember the gray wolf that barked at him in hostility as soon as it was summoned. He cleared his throat. If that's what you wish, I will not hold you there and give you the freedom to walk around over here, but in return, I need you to do one little thing. What is it? Baltro was excited a bit, but controlled its expression to hear the condition first. But in the next second, the legendary Realm Beast King took a step back when Mark took out a golden-furred cat from the familiar's inventory and introduced it. This is Tishanan, our youngest family member. I need you to look after him. Meow. As Mark put down the tiny cat, the latter greeted the manticore with the size of an average adult male lion. There was clear evidence of fear on the face of the manticore. It stuttered as it accused Mark. You abducted the kitten of the golden demon cat. Aren't you afraid of the death? What are you talking about? Mark furrowed his brows. Chapter 163, 9 Planes of Existence. The golden demon cat is one of the demon lords of the Undying Lands. Several Supreme Realm Spirit Warriors and even Demigod Realm Spirit Warriors fell under its paws during the Great Expedition. The Might Beast King of the legendary realm was shivering in fear. If it knows that its kitten was abducted, the golden demon cat will send its army of beast kings and fierce to invade this world. Ooh, you're talking about this cat, right? Mark raised the tiny little cute kitten. The golden fur, ocean blue eyes, a gem on the forehead, and an emperor-grade aura. There's no doubt that it is the offspring of the golden demon cat. The manticore was firm in its response. It can be a coincidence, Mark blurted out while he fell into thoughts. Meow. The cat then meowed in response while tilting its head in confusion. In its view, its parent is the one that is holding it. What is this golden demon cat nonsense? Mark was also thinking the same as the kitten. The fact that it came out an egg is already shocking enough. And now its parent is some super powerful beast that can command several beast kings. If that's the case, what is the egg doing in a mere rank 6 dungeon? Either heaven is playing a joke on him, or the manticore was mistaken. He contacted the system, but received a disappointing response. Since the system couldn't verify its claims and is refusing to divulge the details of Undying Lands, Mark can only question it further to extract more information. Baltro, tell me about the Undying Lands. Well, the realm of Undying Lands is too vast, and I never wandered too far from my habitat. So, I can't give you the information as much as you expected, but I will tell you what I know. Do you know about the 9 planes of existence? Mark shook his head as he doesn't have such knowledge. However, he had an inkling that it might be related to the summoning beast and wild beasts in a dungeon, as they were from these planes of existences, according to their attribute. Baltro started explaining. Basically, our universe is divided into 9 planes, which were stacked upon each other. They are named as Plane of Fire and Ice, Plane of Water, Plane of Wind, Plane of Lightning and Thunder, Plane of Earth and Metal, Plane of Light and Dark, Plane of Celestials, Plane of Immortals, and Plane of Mortals. Your mortal plane of existence is at the bottommost, and is where all the humans and other intelligent races were living in different mortal worlds. The topmost plane, the plane of celestials, is where the deities live. In simpler terms, you humans would address it as heaven. The plane of immortals is at the second-most top, where the demigods, immortals, and their families live. In between the mortal plane and the immortal plane, the remaining 6 planes exist. As you go to the above realms, the richness in spiritual energy, natural energy, will increase by folds, making cultivation a lot easier. Now, the undying lands are basically the worlds located in the immortal plane of existence that was completely occupied by the beasts. Because of extremely rich spiritual energy, it was too easy for the beasts living there to grow stronger. Just look at me. Before I was captured a decade ago, I'm only 9 years old. For blessed humans to reach my stage, it will take several decades. Over there, each world is ruled by a demon lord, which is an emperor-grade beast. The weakest of them will be at the demigod realm, 10 circle, and the strongest is rumored to be at the true god realm, 14 circle. And Golden Demon Cat is a demon lord that ruled the realm world of Grima. It is also my homeland, although my place was far away from its habitat. In its army, there are space attribute creatures that can transport several of the beasts to any world they want. Normally, they won't even look a glance at the mortal plane, but now that its kitten is abducted by you, it won't stay quiet. Mark fell into deep thoughts as he absorbed all the information. Unlike these beasts or the people around, he was a science person. He knew that the universe is made up of countless galaxies. While it is debatable whether the multiverse exists or not, so far, Mark concluded that his soul was probably transported to a different planetary system or another galaxy. As for the heavens, he had a different image of them from the rest of the world. Instead of deities, he believed that they were just stronger spirit warriors that are probably influencing the lives of the humans from far away. Even now, his thoughts didn't change. But these planes of existence confused him a little bit. If the Manticore didn't say that these planes stack on each other, he would have thought they were just galaxies. Adding on top of these, there's the secret of the system. Feeling headache while thinking about all these mysteries, Mark decided to put the unnecessary thoughts away and went on ahead and say, "Well, I received the egg as a reward for clearing a dungeon, and Tishanan is already bound to my soul just like you." Pointing his finger to the ceiling, he continued, "Above the floor lies my home. I have enough rooms. You will be accommodated. Meanwhile, you just need to look after it upstairs while I was busy running the store down here. Whatever the threat that comes from this golden demon cat, I will take care of it later. But I would like to stress that this is Tishanan's home." How would Mark lose a demon emperor pet over the fear of some unknown immortal realm beast that is very far away? Meow. The cat immediately responded by raising one of its paws, as if it was agreeing with its owner. After summoning a butler robot, he ordered Elena to teach the necessary things, one of them being pet care. Even though Baltro is a mixed race with a dragon, scorpion, saber-toothed tiger, and lion, it majorly looked like a lion with wings, teeth, spikes, and tail. So Mark told Elena to treat it like a pet lion and teach the butler robot the skills of a zookeeper. He decided to just feed it daily, until its loyalty will increase to the point where he would be able to use it in battle. As for Tishanan, it is a kitten and is quite weak, so he stressed that it needed extra care. Elena then grabbed the cat and escorted the butler robot and the manticore to the upstairs. Mark then summoned a sales assistant robot and ordered it to stand beside the counter. "Okay, now that everything is set, let's open the store." Mark turned his head to look at the robot and gave an order to pull up the shutter. "Command can't be fulfilled." A reply came from the assistant in its robotic voice. It was only then Mark understood that its job is only to do the sales. This kind of work belongs to the butler robot. Mark let out a sigh. "I guess I can't expect too much from rank 1 robots. Now I wonder about the battle robots." He personally pulled up the shutter to let the sunlight illuminate the store, making the lights at the reception area automatically switch off by themselves. Here at Hanga District, while Mark is excited to sell the weapons once again, several kilometers away at the Imperial Palace, servants were rushing here and there. The soldiers were also searching all over the place for something or someone. "Did you find her?" the Emperor roared at the Imperial Guards. His queen consort Lan Jingyi looked worried at the moment. They looked down at the ground, not daring to meet eyes with the Emperor. "Find her, search everywhere in the city now," he roared once again. It was then the third prince arrived at the gardens of the inner palace, where the Empress and the queen consorts live. His facial expression doesn't look good at the moment. "Xiao Wei, did you find anything about your sister?" Lan Jingyi asked in worry. Shang Wei took out a scroll from his sleeves and handed it to his father. "Your Majesty, this was found under her bed. It probably rolled down because of opened windows and heavy wind." The Emperor opened the scroll and identified that it is his daughter's writing. As he was reading it, Shang Wei said, "Mother, Xiao Jiao left for Western Yan because of Jai Guanli's disappearance." What? Chapter 164, The Messenger of Feng Clan. Half a day later. Jai Palace, Western Yan. Another urgent meeting was held by the Jai clan's Grand Elder, as Shang Jiao was at their doorstep to inquire about the disappearance of her best friend. Her appearance here wasn't by coincidence. She received a letter from the church and asked her to present at the meeting. So one can say that the Church of Nuwa is the one that called for the meeting. From their side, the church sent one of their archbishops to the meeting along with a witness named Fang Bao, a member of the MT Hua sect who made it alive. "Are you sure it's Lu Zhen?" The Grand Elder of the Jai clan furrowed his brows upon hearing the results of the investigation. "Who the hell is this Lu Zhen? What enmity he had with your Jai clan?" The fifth princess slammed the table and roared at Archbishop. The table was instantly frozen in ice, making the others move back in instinct. "No, the Jai clan doesn't have any enmity with him, Your Imperial Highness," the Grand Elder informed her in a serious tone. An elder named Jai Wu voiced his opinion. "Let's just say that he has a tendency to trouble the noble clans for every little reason. He's rumored to be a seven-circle summoner and was looked high upon by the Emperor." "Did Guanli offend him somehow?" The patriarch of Jai clan, Jai Guanli's father, asked the archbishop in a worried tone. If that's the truth, he knew that it won't end with Jai Guanli. The fight might come directly to their clan in the form of that flying puppet, attack helicopter. The Grand Elder said, "Why does that matter? Our Guanli is already in the hands of the traitors." "Exactly," Archbishop Ma nodded. He further said, "That's why we believe that he might be colluding with the Kunyu bandits. This evidence will be enough for the Imperial Palace to issue an arrest against him." "What about the bandits?" The fifth princess was a lot calmer compared to a moment ago upon realizing that the enemy is someone she can't just go and beat him up. Since the Church of Nuwa is holding off the Jai clan to make any movements against the Kunyu bandits, she asked for their strategy. Archbishop Ma looked at her. "The church will pay the ransom on the Jai clan's behalf and get back the young master. But after that, we will confirm the involvement of Lu Zhen in this incident, directly from the victim. I request the princess will take the witness to the palace and immobilize the troops to arrest Lu Zhen. Young Master Jai will also testify to what happened to him to solidify the case. As you know, the crown prince was house arrested and cannot participate in the affairs of the empire for a while. So, I need you to speak directly to your father. If possible, take your brother's help. If Lu Zhen is the one that handed the young master, then he will know the way to the hideout of their traitors. We will then uproot them once and for all." The fifth princess fell into thoughts. The others didn't talk and just waited for her reply. Her actions had now become the most important for the plan laid by the church. After a brief silence, she opened her mouth. "All right, I will do everything to get justice for my friend." The next day, the Jai clan had announced the abduction of Jai Guanli along with the ransom amount, just as Feng Wu instructed them in the previous letter. They told the envoy should contact them within a day. As a result, Everyone in the provincial capital had known that their fallen prince had made a move. It brought mixed reactions among the citizens. Some of them wanted the old regime, while the others wanted to be the citizens of the Phoenix Empire. The announcement was made in the morning, and by noon, a person is standing at the gates of the palace, claiming that he's the envoy sent by Kunyu bandits. The stout man looked very frightened when he did it. There are a few impostors who claim to be the envoy because of greed. All of them were sent to jail, though. The original envoy handed a letter that was written by Feng Wu, along with Feng clan's royal seal. As the seal matched, the envoy was taken inside. As soon as he stepped inside the palace, he found the elders were waiting for him at the entrance hall, and none of them have a smile on their face. The envoy's body started shaking in fear as he slowly walked forward and bowed to them, introducing himself purposely. "I'm Huo Fen, a local merchant but now turned into a messenger, just for this transaction." Huo Fen was the same greedy merchant who bargained with Mark to buy bulk goods in the hope of making a profit. Unfortunately, he became a captive, later, turning into a gun instructor for the soldiers. Then, Feng Wu used a forbidden pill to alter his DNA forcefully, turning him into a spirit warrior. After he managed to survive and managed to change his destiny, he was trained with the rest of the higher realm bandits. Within a short time, Huo Fen had become a three-circle archer. As if that wasn't enough, his position was also elevated to that of an elite messenger. However, Feng Wu knew that the Jai clan will capture the messenger and torture him to track their hideout. And that's why Huo Fen was ordered to introduce himself beforehand. This was step 1. Step 2 was taking the ransom, which will not happen through Huo Fen because of the large amount. As instructed, Huo Fen handed the letter to a guard who gave it to the Grand Elder, Jai Zedong. Upon reading the contents of the letter, he gritted his teeth in anger and crushed the scroll. "I knew that Lu Zhen is colluding with those traitors." The archbishop took it from the Grand Elder and read it. Unlike the others, his eyes lit up in excitement as he spoke. "The Kunyu bandits wanted our envoy to follow their messenger to Genesis store and deposit it there. What are we waiting for? I will contact my father and instantly mobilize the troops to capture Lu Zhen." The fifth princess stood up on her feet, making Huo Fen take a step back in surprise. A mixture of fear and hope was evident on his face. Glancing at Huo Fen, the archbishop replied, "No, everything else is later. First, the safety of young Master Jai is more important. If he sells out the Kunyu bandits, he and his family will get into danger. But if Lu Zhen gets into trouble because of Feng Wu and the former decides to cancel the deal, then it would become easier for him to escape the crisis." This reminder made the princess calm down. She nodded and took her seat. "You are right." After the meeting concluded, the princess returned home. The next day morning, an excited archbishop of the Church of Nuwa, a worried Jai clan's patriarch, a determined elder of Jai clan along with a nervous Huo Fen set out for the imperial city, where the fifth princess was also waiting for their arrival. Chapter 165, Changbo the Welpier. Genesis Store, Imperial City. Okay, these are the conditions. Work hours are from morning 9 to evening 9. There will be a lunch break from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. when there are no customers. You can relax. As for the working days, you only need to come to the store from Monday to Friday. Saturday and Sunday are rest days, but if you wish to work during that time, then you will be paid 50 silver coins per hour. The same goes for overtime during weekdays. The overall wage will be 120 gold coins per month and will be paid on a weekend basis every Friday evening. Apart from that, you will have 2 paid leaves every month. They will be accumulated over the following month if you won't take them. If you don't come on normal days, then 6 gold coins will be deducted from your wages. And you should never forget to come on time. If you are late, then you can expect the deduction of the wages. For example, if you came at 9:10 or 9:15, then the hourly wage from 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock, 60 silver coins will be deducted. If your performance is satisfactory at the end of the month, Either I might raise your salary or give you a bonus. Of course, if it isn't, then you can expect a decrease in salary or even get fired. So you must brace yourself for everything before starting to work here. Keeping aside the work as an insurance, I need your blood, not much, just about 10 ml. That way, I could track you in case you stole expensive weapons from the store and run away. I cannot take any chances, you know. Also, while you are working, every week you might suddenly become unlucky. It's just a side effect. You will get used to it eventually, but don't worry, I will warn you beforehand. Then, you should make sure to stay within your house or here. If you are ready to accept all these terms, you can start working right away. My younger brother over here will train you. Mark pointed to Alan behind, as he explained everything to a teenager who came for the job. 120 gold coins per month. The 15-year-old teenager named Chang Bo gasped in shock. Chang Bo is the hybrid human, suspected to be a vampire werewolf with more than 5,600 years of lifespan, whom Mark met at the Swordsman Guild a while ago. At early in the morning, Mark opened the store and waited for the customers. Roughly about an hour passed by. He received a notification from the system regarding the lottery wheel availability. With 7 points of luck, Mark indeed had a fair chance of winning something from the new 7 items, but he wanted a 100% success rate. He decided to wait for customers with the highest luck. If someone with 7 or 8 points comes in, he can absorb 3 points from them. Even after that, they wouldn't become as unlucky as Mojiang as back then. Little does he expect Chang Bo would coincidentally come to the store and hesitantly ask if Mark's offer is still valid. Mark was on the clouds to see the teenager. The moment he decided to recruit Chang Bo, he had decided about the salary and other conditions. And now, being fully prepared, he calmly laid out the conditions. Chang Bo was stunned on the spot upon hearing the offer. He looked at this weapon seller in disbelief. "Pardon me, Lord Lu. Did you say that I will be paid 30 gold coins every week and I only need to work only 5 days? 6 gold coins per day. Adding on top of that, there's extra pay for overtime. This salary is something that even the royal palace will not give to the personal maids and servants of the emperor. In comparison, this salary is 10 times that of the personal maids of Song Yue, who only receive such an amount because of her generosity." Chang Bo felt like he did the right thing to act in instinct when he was about to pass through this commercial district. With such money, he could move into a better house, wear good clothes, and don't have to sleep on an empty stomach every day. He didn't know why Mark had asked for the blood, but facing poverty, Chang Bo agreed to it right away. He kowtowed on the spot. "Thank you, Lord Lu." Mark waved his hands with a smile. "It's not much. Alan will take you upstairs. Fresh up and pick up something from the wardrobe to change into better clothes that suit the stature of my store. Oh, before that, blood please." He took out an injection with a sharp needle from his inventory. For some strange reason, the needle was glossy black in color. That means it isn't stainless steel. Thankfully, Mark hadn't seen it, or else he would have thrown a fit if he realized the system used an extremely rare dark steel to forge a needle. This injection was conveniently provided by the system as a quest item, making Mark wonder why the system has other miscellaneous things apart from the weapons and cultivation-related items. Chang Bo had seen many weapons in his life, from swords to guns, but he never saw such a tiny ungraded weapon but could still instill fear in him for some unknown reason. Seeing a terrified expression on his face, Mark said, "Don't worry. You are a 2-circle spirit warrior. It won't hurt you a bit." Mark's words brought a sigh of relief to the teenager. But then, as this new employer of him pierced his left arm, Chang Bo felt a jolt all over his body. He screamed a bit, "Arg!" Mark was surprised by Chang Bo's reaction, but he didn't stop and continued to pierce all the way into the arm before drawing out the blood. By the time he was done, Chang Bo grabbed his arm and grit his teeth with his whole face turned red. Meanwhile, a trace of surprise appeared on Mark's face. The blood was black in color instead of red. Either it means the boy has low oxygen levels, or it might mean something else entirely. Judging by how frail and pale the boy looks on the outside, many would probably think he's sick. Dark red or almost black blood color is something that's not rare in the Empire, so no one would suspect him. However, Mark, who already knew that the kid was only half human, almost confirmed his race even without the system's help. Nevertheless, he handed it to the system. Ding, you completed the emergency quest. Collect the blood sample of Chang Bo. The quest was something he received when he met Chang Bo for the second time, although this one has no rewards. Ding, the blood sample has been analyzed. It is confirmed to be the blood of a whelper. The ether quality is peak. Due to the opposite forces, the bloodline is currently in a dormant state. A whelper, does that mean he's a werewolf as well as a vampire? It looks like I stumbled upon a gold mine. Mark's eyes lit up in excitement upon reading the results. As the spot where the needle was pierced was healed almost instantly, Chang Bo got up on his feet and slowly went upstairs in silence. It was a mystery of what was going on in his head. Mark didn't care about it either now that he got what he wanted. Along with the blood sample, he already absorbed the 3 points. Open lottery wheel. Chapter 166. Save for upgrading Alan or use for upgrading the ether. Ding, congratulations. You have 1 upgrade crystal from the lottery wheel. The item was sent to the inventory. Okay, an upgrade crystal. It's time to power up Alan once again. Mark was satisfied with the first reward. Since he planned to give the divine sword to Alan, it would make complete sense to upgrade his rank further. Mark couldn't help but imagine how Alan might be able to kill Bai Zun, whom Elena fell into a disadvantage during their last battle. Unfortunately for him, the system decided to put brakes on his excitement right away. Despite having 10 points of temporary luck, nothing could stop the disappointing notifications from the system. Ding, upgrading from rank 5 to rank 6 requires 2 upgrade crystals, so the host must collect 1 more crystal. The system recommends the host raise the ether quality instead. Raising my ether quality, huh? Mark pondered on it for a while. Normally, with 10 points of luck, he will clear the lottery wheel in 5 more weeks even if no lottery pick is acquired. So that means to upgrade Alan to rank 6, he should wait at least a minimum of 5 weeks and a maximum of 10 weeks. If one considers such time from a broad view, 2-3 months isn't big deal. However, the rate of Mark and his store's improvement is visible to everyone. In 3 months, who knows how the situation will change. But if he can upgrade his ether quality, he can start working on ether points. With a rank 5 cultivation base, Mark's ether points current limit is about 100,000, but at the present, he only had a little more than 2,000. Clearly, there's so much to do. After weighing his options for a long time, Mark made his decision. System, how long does the ether upgrade take? He asked. Ding, 60 minutes. During this time, the familiar's inventory and the skills that use ether energy will be inaccessible. Okay, upgrade the ether quality, he said as he touched the yellow crystal to his own forehead, following the instructions. It disappeared into himself. Ding, the upgrade crystal is consumed. The process of ether quality upgrade has been started. 60 minutes will pass away in a blink of an eye. So, he comfortably sat on his chair and waited for the customers. After a while, Chang Bo returned in loosely fitted new clothes and started training. Alan dragged to each section of the weapons, explaining to him in detail so that the teenager can do the same to the customers. About 30-40 minutes later, Alan left for Lin Clan's mansion to spar with Lin Zhu. Chang Bo was trying his best to remember the details of the weapons that he had never seen in his life. A couple of new customers arrived during Alan's absence. Mark didn't move from the spot and put the work on Chang Bo, telling them that he is a new employee. The sales assistant robot was dismissed by Mark to see how the kid will fare alone. He asked Elena to keep an eye on him but told her to not intervene, just observe him from far. Surprisingly, Chang Bo integrated into his job very quickly. He first started the explanation about the store's enormous space to those who were looking around. It's an application of space magic. I was told that our master's acquaintance helped out, he explained while first taking them to the handgun section. Here this is. 10 minutes later. Thank you for the purchase. Please stop by again. Mark gave a big smile as he handed the box full of 9 bullets, about 50 in number, along with a P365 pistol, 10 rounds. From the overall bill of 40 gold coins, Mark made a profit of 24 gold coins. Normally, he should be happy, but as soon as the 2 customers left, Mark's facial expression changed. He turned towards Chang Bo, who kowtowed right away. I apologize, Lord Lu. Please forgive me. At first, Chang Bo was full of confidence when he escorted the customers to the weapons section. Because there was a board attached about the details at each section, it didn't pose a problem either. With Elena around, even the weapon testing had no issues. But at the last moment during the package, Chang Bo messed up by packaging P226 20 round instead of P365 10 round. If Mark didn't check it before handing it to the customers, he would have made 20 gold coins of loss. While the amount isn't a big deal, why should he incur losses because of this welfare brat? He was already paying an enormous salary just to keep him as a servant. Now he had to double-check everything so that he won't suffer losses. Mark wanted to get angry at him, but in the end he let out a sigh. It's all right. Beginner mistakes happen on the first day. Just make sure to not do the same mistake again. Thank you, Lord Lu. Chang Bo bowed again before standing on his feet and getting back to his work. Emperor's Chamber, Imperial Palace. Arresting Lu Zhen. Xiao Jiao, what are you saying? The emperor was in disbelief upon hearing that the disappearance of Jai Guanli has to do with none other than the owner of Genesis Store. These days, all the major developments in the empire are only about him. From making trouble to the noble clans to helping out the second prince, he was hearing a lot of news. Everyone in the city is also talking about the amazing interior inside the store located in the Hanga district. When asked for the evidence, Shang Jiao then replied, there's one. He's a disciple of the MT, Hua sect. He was assaulted by Lu Zhen but managed to escape with his life. Before that, he witnessed the abduction of Guanli. No, he can't be the witness, my daughter. The emperor let out a deep sigh. He explained, MT, Hua sect is a close ally of Sui clan. Lu Zhen was enemies with Sui clan. The case won't hold up and we would unnecessarily make enemies out of him. He had done enough contributions for the empire, you know. If he once again pulls out that commoner card, people would just think that we are ungrateful people who hold grudges on commoners for standing up to us. I can't give an order of arrest based on that. Father, the Kunyu bandits themselves had written that the transaction had to be taken place before Lu Zhen. What is better proof than this? Shang Jiao, the 5th princess, argued back to prove her point. Unfortunately for her, the emperor countered her statement right away with a simple fact. Lu Zhen will then argue that it is because of the suppression inside his store. Even Bai Zun will be helpless as a chicken once he enters the store. So that place is quite suitable for such large transactions. Argue then, is there nothing we can do? The 5th princess felt agitated, for her hopes were dashed away. Father, we cannot let such a person get away with a crime. Well, if Jai Guanli himself testify it, and then if we get a confession from the leader or a top member of Kunyu bandits about Lu Zhen's involvement, the imperial palace is helpless, replied the emperor while letting out a bitter smile. As an afterthought, he added, honestly, even if it is the case, I want to forgive him. I had a deal with him, you know. 3 mighty flying puppets, those weapons can make the imperial palace powerful enough to suppress the majority of the guilds and sects. When she heard it, the teenager took a step back with her eyes widened in surprise. They were right. Lu Zhen has the support of the emperor. Chapter 167, An Advance Payment from Feng Wu. It was late in the afternoon. Mark was leaning his back at the chair, enjoying the peace while caressing the back of a golden-furred cat. Man, after roaming here and there for days, I missed the feeling of being lazy. Purr. Tishanan was comfortably sleeping on Mark's lap. Maybe it's the 7 points of luck that are working on. Or maybe it's because the news of the return of Mark was already spread all over the city. Whatever the case, Mark's business was faring even better than the previous day. From the morning, he had sold about 600 bullets, 4 P226, 1 P365, 12 single-shot, 7 revolvers, 5 fragmentation grenades, and 8 smoke grenades. Combing with daily 500 gold coins worth of weapons from the Lin clan, overall, the store's income crossed more than 1,000 gold coins within 10 hours of opening. With a 60% share of the earnings, he added several hundreds of gold coins to his account. But it wasn't just because of that he was happy. It's because of how good Chang Bo turned out to be. Apart from the mistake in the packing he did at the start, the teenager seldom made any mistakes in explaining the weapons and explosives to the customers. As for the weapon testing, Chang Bo only stood on the side as he wasn't familiar with the weapons. For the sake of not causing a mess, it was decided that the weapons and explosives demonstration will be done by either Elena or Alan, at least until Chang Bo gets familiar with the work. It will take some time, but Mark can afford to wait. It won't matter to him who does the work, whether it is Chang Bo, the robot, or the android, assuming that there will be no mistakes. With enough stock in the inventory, Mark didn't create weapons and just stuck to his seat. For the past hour, there were no customers either. So, while lazing around, he was watching compilation videos of Alan and Lin Zhu's sparring matches as a form of entertainment. But soon, everything changed with the arrival of 3 strangers, and a familiar face, except that they are not the customers. Chang Bo, who was also resting at a corner, hurried to the entrance to greet the new customers as he was taught by Alan. "Welcome to Genesis Weapon Store. May I know what you're looking for?" He greeted the people who were visibly stunned by the interior in the store as well as the suppression of their bodies. I was skeptical and thought people are exaggerating about the suppression by divine artifact. Jai Clan's patriarch, Jai Cheng, commented as he looked around. "It looks like the rumors are true." Jai Wu, an elder of Jai Clan and an advanced six-circle expert, was also appeared to be shocked, as he felt too helpless. His instincts are urging him to leave the place right away. No wonder His Highness was afraid of this weapon seller and appointed me, Huo Fen thought. At the same time, he was surprised that the place transformed completely from the time he visited it. As he was previously acquainted with Lu Zhen, he proceeded with the talks. "We are here for owner Lu." As Chang Bo backed away, thinking that it is a personal matter, Huo Fen greeted Mark with an awkward smile. "Hello, owner Lu." Lu Zhen glanced at the 4 of them. He found Huo Fen familiar but couldn't recognize him properly. "What do you want?" he asked calmly. Since they aren't the customers, Mark doesn't feel the need to show hospitality. He didn't even stand up from the seat to welcome them. "I don't know if you remember properly. A few weeks ago, I came to the store and bought weapons in bulk amount." Huo Fen spoke in a respectful tone. Since the weapon seller was an Exalt Realm summoner, 7 Circle, he needed to be careful in his speech. Mark remembered him. It's the guy who bargained with him. However, his expression didn't change a bit as he replied, "So." Huo Fen didn't feel offended now that he knew his place. He continued, "My master, Lord Feng Wu, had instructed me to give you this." He handed a scroll in the presence of the 3 people tagged along with him. When he saw it, Jai Wu whispered to Jai Clan's patriarch, "Lord Cheng, now it's clear that he's involved." Jai Cheng nodded with a serious expression. Just as Jai Wu turned to their remaining companion, an archbishop from the Church of Nuwa, to his surprise, he saw the latter was standing there like a statue, sweating like crazy despite the low temperature within the store. He found that Archbishop was just staring at the owner of the store without batting an eye. Was he afraid of Lu Zhen or something? But why? Wasn't he also in 7 Circle? Where was the confidence that he displayed on their way to Imperial City? He didn't know what's wrong with this Archbishop, but they aren't here to fight Lu Zhen anyway, at least until their heir gets back to them. Jai Wu shifted his attention back to the owner, whose expression changed as soon as Huo Fen mentioned Feng Wu. For a moment, Mark was angered as he clearly warned Feng Wu that his name shouldn't be linked with him in the public. He used the eyes of Sage on the customers and figured out their identities. His rage increased further. He felt as if he wanted to go out there and massacre the Kunyu bandits. Mark was aware that his name will be out once Jai Guanli gets freed. He was prepared with his reasons too, but it shouldn't be revealed by his ally. Fortunately, the letter saved their alliance. As he read the letter sent by Feng Wu, his anger was not only subsidized, but his blood was also rushed in excitement. Huo Fen didn't know the contents of the letter, so he was also curious about it when the expression of Mark turned 180 degrees. First he was all broody, but now he was smiling like the happiest man. Looking at Huo Fen, "Okay, you can pay the deposit right away. Within 2 weeks the weapons will be ready." However, the ammunition and the bullets were too many. It will take at least 4-6 weeks to procure them. You can come back 6 weeks later and take them at once, or visit the store every week and take some of them. But let me ask beforehand. I should register the order on Feng Wu's name, right? What? The three of them collectively fell into a daze by Mark's sudden change of attitude. Neither of them understood what he is saying either. Looking at the confused looks on their faces, Mark asked, "Aren't you here to buy the weapons? Feng Wu's letter mentioned the list of weapons he required. Don't you know about it?" After nodding down the order, Mark handed the letter back to the stout merchant from Western Yan. The latter read it. I'm sorry. I wasn't told about the objective," Huo Fen replied in embarrassment. Judging by how the prince sternly warned him to not peek into the contents of the letter, he thought there would be a secret message, but he didn't expect that it is just a list of weapons. Chapter 168. Mark gets punished by the system. Upon remembering the money he was supposed to take from the Jai clan, realization dawned upon him. So, that's why the prince had instructed him to hand over the money to the store owner. He thought it was because they were partners and were sharing the ransom amount. He turned around to look at the Jai clan's patriarch. "Lord Jai, the ransom, please." "Okay." Jai Cheng's mind was preoccupied with his son's safety. So he hurriedly handed over a platinum-graded pouch that can accommodate 1,000,000 gold coins to Huo Fen. As Huo Fen handed the entire amount to Alan, the latter scanned it and reported, "Big brother, a total of 300,089 gold coins." Mark looked at Huo Fen. It looked like there are 89 coins higher than the supposed deposit. "You want it back, or?" Huo Fen didn't reply to him and just turned around to look at Jai clan's patriarch. Jai Cheng waved his hand with a wry smile. "When 300,000 coins were gone, what does that change matter? Forget it. I just want my son back." "Okay, can I have them please?" Huo Fen asked Mark. 89 might not be much for Jai clan or the church, but it is a huge sum for him. While Alan started placing the coins one after another on the counter, Huo Fen took out a talisman from his storage ring and burned it. Very soon, a telepathic message came to his mind. He turned around and informed them. "My master had said that young Lord Jai is at an inn named Kong Zin, located at Fantang district." "Okay, let's go, right away." Jai Cheng turned around to walk away without waiting any longer. "Me too," Huo Fen asked in hesitation. "Of course you are coming with us." Jai Wu grabbed him. After giving a bow to Mark, the elder of Jai clan dragged him away only to stop after a few steps. "Archbishop Ma." He turned around to see the archbishop was still rooted on the spot without moving. Did he fall unconscious while standing or something? He shook his shoulder vigorously, bringing him back to reality after calling him a few times. Yes, his voice was shaking in fear. "Let's go," said Jai Wu and walked forward. The archbishop deeply bowed to Mark with a stuttering apology. I apologize for intruding. I'll be on my way." He hurried outside. Looking at his back, Mark wondered, what's wrong with him? As the horse carriage was traveling towards the Fantang district, which is another commoner neighborhood known for inns and brothels, Jai Wu and the others saw Archbishop was shivering a bit while murmuring, Beast, beast, beast. Are you all right? Jaiwu asked him. You looked as if you saw some ghost or something. It's a beast emperor. Archbishop Ma Yinglan finally spoke properly. That cat in the lands of Lu Zhen, it is a beast emperor, Elder Wu. The appearance of beast emperor always brings disaster to the world. I'll have to go back to Western Yan. A beast emperor. Even Jai Cheng couldn't help but pay attention to the matter. Are you sure? I didn't observe it properly, but in a single glance it looked like an ordinary house cat. Maybe you are mistaken. The beast emperors are different from the beast kings, Lord Jai. Archbishop explained to the both of them. They will hide their aura completely. As I'm in Exalt Realm, I can sense its inner aura. It was only at one circle, but its inner aura is comparable to that of a seven-circle beast king. Moreover, I can also sense its demonic nature. It looks like everything about Lu Zhen is a mystery, Huo Fen mumbled as he stared outside. Back to the store, Mark was on high clouds, staring at the order that he wrote. 1 200 panzers. 2 100 P226, 20 rounds, semi-automatic handguns. 3 1,000 magazines, 20 rounds. 4 200,000 bullets, 9. 5 100 shotguns. 6 10,000 shotgun shells, 12 gauge. 7 50,000 machine guns ammo, 7 9 mmx 57 mm. The overall order value is over 200,000 gold coins. It instantly completes my side quest. Come to think of it, lately, I'm not paying much attention to the quests. A while ago, I have spent thousands of credits, right? I should have completed one of them. Mark opened the quest list. Main QSDS. Main quest I. Sell a total of 1,000 firearms, in progress minus 98.4%. Reward, bolt-action rifle, lever-action rifle, and semi-automatic rifle. Main quest II, become rank 6. Reward, host share increases to 70% permanently, and 16,000 credits. Main quest III, sell the weapon that you designed for the first time. Reward, upgrade crystal. Side QSDS. Side quest I. Earn a total of 100,000 gold coins from selling the weapons created by the system, excluding the bullets and ammunition. In progress 12, 1%. Reward, ether pistol. Side quest II. Sell exclusive weapons to 10 different people. In progress 7, 10. Reward, C4. Side quest III. Spend a total of 50,000 credits completed. Reward, statue of Velkazar. Fuck, Mark cursed out loud as soon as he read the quests. The sleeping cat jumped as if someone stepped on its tail. Alan and Elena glanced at their master, and Chang Bo, who was still in a daze, seeing the enormous profits of the store, pulled back to the reality by Mark's outburst. He couldn't understand what was wrong with Mark. For once, this owner will be happy, and in the next moment he'll go into a rage, and after that he will turn happy again. An upgrade crystal, got him it. System, you knew about it and you still recommended it to use it on my ether quality. You moth-fucking cheating system. Like Changbo thought, Mark was riding in a wave of emotions. Earlier, he was on cloud 9, but when he realized how he was duped, he cursed the system out of frustration. No one knows where the attack came from. For a second, thousands of volts of electricity passed through his entire body, making him helplessly fall onto the floor. Thud! A holographic screen appeared before him as he groaned in pain. Ding! The system kept mentioning that profanity language shouldn't be directed at the system. As the host ignored the warning, the system gave a small punishment. Consider it as another warning. Ding! The next time it will be much harsher, so please be careful about losing control over your speech. Ding! The system only recommended it because it is the right choice. As for the upgrade crystal and the quest reward, the system isn't responsible for the host's negligence. It was the first time Mark was punished by the system. Mark wanted to curse again, but refrained from it. Are you okay, big brother? Alan and Elena asked at the same time. Mark silently went back to his seat as if nothing had happened earlier. The cat titled its head and stared at its master. Meanwhile, Changbo fell into confusion once again. What the hell was that? Who ambushed the owner? No, the energy usually doesn't work here. So, was that perhaps a common occurrence? Chapter 169. Emperor Shang defends Mark. About an hour later, the Jai clan representatives retrieved the hostage who was found to be unconscious at an inn. In the meantime, the princess was also informed. She arrived at the location shortly after them. Suspecting that they might harm them after getting back their kid, Zhan Tai, the deputy of Feng Wu, had long fled the inn but stayed hidden while roaming in the neighborhood. Once he confirmed that Jai Guanli is with them, Zhan Tai abandoned Huo Fen and returned to the hideout. As for whether Huo Fen betrays them or not, the prince himself doesn't worry about that. Why should he care? The princess took them to the imperial palace, while also intending to interrogate Huo Fen about the location of Kunyu bandits, as well as Lu Zhen's involvement in this crime. After putting the boy to rest at a royal guest room, Archbishop Ma, Jai clan's elder Jai Wu, and Jai clan's patriarch Jai Cheng went and meet the emperor, leaving the princess behind who voluntarily stayed to look after her close friend. At the meeting chamber, Grand Secretariat Li was also waiting for them. The three of them sat down after greeting the two of them. Tell me everything that happened without leaving any detail. The emperor's expression was quite serious, as this will complicate the relationship between Genesis Store and the imperial palace and might turn sour forever. Jai Cheng explained everything, starting from how Jai Guanli left for the dungeon of Taslin with 4 elite guards of the Sixth Circle realm, to how they found him at an inn unconscious. So they put the ransom as a deposit to buy weapons from Lu Zhen. Are they planning to invade soon? The emperor wondered out loud. Brother Fu, here I'm talking about getting justice to my son, and you are talking about an invasion. Jai Cheng slammed the table as he went outburst for a second before he realized his mistake quickly. I apologize, Your Majesty, It's all right, Brother Jai, the emperor waved his hands. I'm also a parent, I understand your pain too. Just like their children, as the two of them were close since their childhood, the emperor forgave for his rude remarks. But then again, Lu Zhen is important to the palace. So he tried to defend the owner of Genesis Weapon Store. Brother Jai, I know that you are angry that someone abducted your son and placed him as the hostage for the past 2 weeks. But did you ever think of a possibility whether someone is deliberately trying to pit you against Lu Zhen? Lu Zhen had humiliated the Sui clan, so one shouldn't be surprised if Mt. Hua sect will try taking revenge on him by instigating another clan to form enmity with him. Something suddenly clicked inside Jai Cheng's mind, and he turned towards the archbishop who was the one that performed the investigation. If the emperor is true, then, wouldn't it be the same as they are being made fools? Thankfully for him, Archbishop Ma dismissed the emperor's hypothesis right away. I'm confident that Fang Bao isn't lying. It isn't a secret that our cardinal was blessed with the eye of truth, so nothing can be hidden from his third eye. Moreover, we have the victim right in the palace. Once young Master Jai wakes up, he can testify the truth. And Your Majesty, forgive me for not agreeing with you, but if the Mt. Hua sect had a hand in this, why would they send their member? Wouldn't it be logical to send a stranger instead? Elder Jai also voiced his opinion, strengthening their argument. Look, Brother Jai, I want to help you too, but I'm helpless in this situation. We have already dragged him to the public trial without knowing the full details. He isn't a simple commoner, you know. If we arrest him, then not only we will unnecessarily make an enemy but also lose our reputation. The emperor said to him, displaying his helplessness over the matter. He then added, we need strong evidence that can't be countered with any logic. Unless you do that, we can do nothing to him. How about I form a special investigation team? Previously, it was important for the emperor to stay good with Lu Zhen. But now, after he received the reports from the second prince regarding Lu Zhen's weapons that are waiting to be mass-produced, it became a necessity for him to keep Lu Zhen in the Phoenix Empire. What if Lu Zhen set up his store at the Northern Empires and then he supply weapons of destruction to them? He cannot let that happen. Unlike other fools who care about more false prestige, Emperor cares about the future of his empire and also the welfare of his citizens. He was also farsighted than others. It is why he minded his tone when requested for the attack helicopters. But at the same time, he cannot let his vassals grow discontent with him either. It will sow the seeds of rebellion in them. That's why he felt the need to tread this matter very carefully and maintain balance. The emperor's reply naturally displeased the representatives of Jai clan. Jai Cheng had decided to leave the place without waiting much longer. He will use everything he can to take revenge on both the traitors as well as Lu Zhen. Just then the archbishop opened his mouth. "Your Majesty, I will have to remember you an important thing. Lu Zhen possesses." "Archbishop Ma, this isn't the time," Jai Cheng timely interrupted him. But why?" The archbishop was confused. "We are only here to get justice for Guanli, so let's keep it that way." Jai Cheng tried to convince him with whatever came to his mind, hoping that the archbishop read the atmosphere for a moment. Unfortunately, it was too late. The emperor's curiosity increased. What is that Lu Zhen possessed? Another powerful weapon like the flying puppet. The emperor told the archbishop to out with it. Jai Cheng tightly shut his eyes as the archbishop started explaining. He was raising a beast emperor cub, and I think you are aware of the saying. The disasters follow wherever the emperors of the beasts roam the land. If you don't want a disaster to befall on your imperial palace, either you have to banish Lu Zhen from your empire or kill the beast when it is in its infancy. Both of the solutions will surely form enmity between you two. So you might as well take this opportunity to make a move against him and save the prestige of all the noble clans that became victims to his deeds. It came as a shock to the emperor, who wasn't prepared for such a thing. A trace of disbelief can be seen on his face as he said, "A beast emperor? Are you sure?" "Yes, I confirmed it with my own eyes." Archbishop nodded firmly. In an instant, the emperor's eyes lit up, contrary to the expectations of the archbishop. He turned his head and looked towards the old man sitting beside him. "Grand Secretariat Li, the store will be open till 10 o'clock, right?" "Yes, Your Majesty," Li Zhenkang nodded in response. The emperor stood on his feet. "We are leaving right away. Follow me." "I'm sorry, Brother Jai. I will return quickly. You are a guest at the imperial palace. Please make yourself home." The emperor scurried away without even bothering to hear their reply. "What the hell?" Archbishop looked at the emperor's back in a daze. Jai Cheng slapped his own forehead. "Great Archbishop Ma, you had to say it." Chapter 170. Lan Jingyi tags along with the emperor. Ever since he was 8 years old, when he heard that their ancestor was blessed by the divine beast Phoenix, Emperor Shang always had a wish that is yet to be fulfilled. He wanted to see a divine beast. That simple wish made him become fascinated towards the beasts. If someone claimed to witness a new species somewhere in the wild or a dungeon, he would send a team to capture it. But as he grows older, he would only get worried about seeing one before he dies. Unfortunately, to this date, forget about the mythical divine beast, he couldn't even see a glimpse of a beast emperor. Now that he heard of the existence of an emperor-grade beast that is living inside the imperial city, the emperor couldn't stop himself. He left the royal meeting chamber, dragging the Grand Secretariat along with him. The general of the north, who was usually stationed at the imperial city at all times, Yi Yin, was notified about it. It is mandatory for a general or a supreme commander to always escort the emperor whenever he was going out, for he was only an intermediate six-circle spirit warrior, despite the fact that he had awakened the Phoenix bloodline. General Yi Yin and a handful of imperial guards were making their preparations to head out. Meanwhile, Emperor Shang and Grand Secretariat Li were on their way. They reached the end of the hallway, making a right turn that would lead him to the inner palace where the women of the imperial family and their maids live. He was going straight towards the exit, but when he saw the entrance of the inner palace, a thought appeared in his head. He halted his footsteps. "Grand Secretariat Li, please go on your way. I will be here in a moment." Emperor Shang took a turn and went towards the inner palace. Surprisingly, instead of going towards his favorite queen consort, Lan Jingyi, he went to the empress whom he rarely talked to during the past decade or so. As he stepped inside the empress chamber, he found a woman in her late 50s who was busy playing an ancient board game known as Waiki. As chess became popular among the citizens of the empire, Waiki almost became non-existent. Only a few families who wanted to stick to the old tradition play it. Ahem. The emperor cleared his throat, interrupting their play. What is it? The empress appeared to be quite irritated. She didn't even move her head to look at the source of the sound. The maid, on the other hand, immediately tried to stand up to greet him, but her hand was caught by the empress. Where are you going? Sit down. It's me, Zhenya, the emperor said to her, thinking that she probably misunderstood for an imperial guard. I know that it is you, Shang Fu. Who else would dare to enter without getting permission? The empress gave the maid, a shock to her life as she addressed the emperor directly by his name and even talked in a rude tone. I already told you before. Unless you plan on removing the house arrest on my son, don't bother to look for me. Just tell me and leave quickly. Emperor Shang furrowed his brows. He was familiar with her temper, but it still hurts when she talks like that. She may not be his favorite, but she is still his wife. But what can he do? He was also a part guilty for proceeding with the marriage several decades ago, despite how she wants to enjoy the life of a free bird at her home for a bit more time. Empress Zhenya was from the most powerful major clan of the Phoenix Empire, the Yuan clan. She was 7 years elder than the emperor, but was engaged to him by her parents on the wishes of the late emperor. At first, she was good and all, but after he started marrying more women, her actions became centered on politics with the main objective of retiring him and ascending the crown prince to the throne. With the crown prince being imprisoned in the palace, the second prince publicly insulting her loyalty, the emperor withdrawing his plans of stepping down from the throne, all of these only increased her anger. The emperor expected a little discontent from his wife, but he didn't expect that she would go this far. Like him, she was also fond of beasts. In fact, her daily hobby is to take care of the emperor's personal mount, not because it belongs to him, but it is because the beast is of king grade. This is the reason he came to invite her, but seeing her mood with his own eyes, the emperor decided against it, and without speaking anything, he turned around and left the chamber. Your Majesty, the maid tried to speak something to the empress, but the latter doesn't seem bothered by it. Forget about him. You play. After leaving the chamber, he went to his favorite consort, for he doesn't want to feel like a loser returning empty-handed. There, the ever-beautiful Queen Consort Lan Jingyi was busy with her weaving. Looking at her from the distance, a smile appeared on Emperor Shang. No matter what she does, she looks very graceful. Ahem. He cleared his throat like before. Unlike the empress, Queen Consort immediately stopped her work and looked at him. Her smile widened as she stood up on her feet. Your Majesty. Are you busy, dear? I didn't disturb you, right? He asked her, to which she shook her head. It's all right, Your Majesty. I was just passing my time. The emperor once again remembered Mark's words from the public trial. He thought his wife was probably bored all day. He said in a soft tone, I'm going out somewhere. Do you want to come with me? Sure, Your Majesty. Give me a few minutes. I'll change into formal wear. She agreed right away without even asking where they are going. Some of the maids think it was because of fear or respect, but the emperor believes that it is because of her utmost trust in him. After all, during the past 26 years of their marriage, he never took her to the hunting or weapon shopping, which she doesn't like. Soon, both of them left the inner palace. Lan Jingyi boarded a palanquin while the emperor mounted on a horse. Surrounded by a general and a group of imperial guards, they made their way to the backwater lake behind the palace, located about 500 meters away. At the shores of the lake, a few soldiers in the five-circle realm were stationed as if they are guarding the place. They bowed to the emperor and moved away as he stepped down from the horse and walked forward. Upon reaching the shore, he spoke out loud, Amara, it's time to go out. As soon as his words fell over, bubbles appeared at the surface of the lake before a giant stingray came to the surface. It was in the six-circle realm, but its aura far stronger than a typical seven-circle beast. Some of the Imperial guards, who weren't unfamiliar with it, flinched upon seeing its presence.